So I really enjoyed this film. I thought it was a very fascinating and strange kind of coming-of-age story. How did you find Mr. Van Dyke in the first place?
So I didn't know his story. I hadn't heard anything about his story, but got an email one day from him introducing himself and saying that he had recently returned from Libya, where he'd been fighting with the rebels, and that he had this footage of his time there and of this multi-year motorcycle trip that preceded it. And so I said, well, why don't you come up to New York? He was living in Baltimore. And he and Lauren, his girlfriend, came up. And they met with my wife, who's a producer on the film, and me, and told us the story. And we just sat and listened to them talk for 3 or 4 hours, just starting at the very beginning. So
this guy just like came over the transom, just like,
it was
like,
crazy,
hey, dude,
yes.
Hey, dude, I've got this story.
Right.
So did he know? Did he just come to you, presumably because of your previous work?
Yeah, he had seen some of my films, and as he explained it, he went through the list of Academy Award nominated documentary filmmakers, and so he's like, oh, well, this guy got 2, so I guess I ought to give him a call. So,
did he say who else he approached?
Yeah, well, I actually know a few of my friends also got the call. So.
Okay, so this is really interesting because this kind of speaks to one of the things I think is the themes in the film, is this kind of strange sort of self-awareness. I mean, on the one hand, you have this person who is not self-actualized. He's like, this dude who's letting his mom buy his groceries and hasn't really figured out how to have a job. And so on the, so it seems sort of self-unaware. And at the same time, is aware enough to not only pick up a camera, but when it's all said and done, seek out Oscar-nominated filmmakers.
And to know that the detail that his mother would stock his refrigerator and do his laundry for him was an interesting detail to tell me. I mean, he's a very interesting person. And the way that he was able to tell the story that first time that we sat down made me think, this is somebody who I'd like to spend some time exploring.